guy cleaned my car yesterday. An ordinary cleaning of my car, he has changed everything. The AC was off, the vents were off. Yo, I don't even know how Ubasabiism got to this point. Anyway, good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Let's talk. I was talking to somebody and the person says to me, well, I've been very unlucky. I have had multiple jobs. I've worked with multiple people and it's so terrible. I'm listening to this person like, okay, how are you missing such an important point? Yes. You have to know that in this life, everything that happens to you happens in an attempt to confer an advantage. Yeah? Whatever happens in an attempt to confer an advantage. If you are smart enough, if you've got the presence of mind, and you are able to identify whatever the advantage is supposed to be and to operate within it, then you are good. Yeah. Yvette and Marion, how you doing? If you recognize the advantage that is being conferred, and if you operate within that advantage, you capitalize on that advantage, then you have benefited from the gift the universe wanted to give you. It is also very true for a lot of people that the advantage is attempted to confer, but they completely disregard or are oblivious to the gift so that it means nothing. And this was the classic case in question. Don't even know why this guy has done such a stupid thing, and now it's going to create all this clashing until I park this car. Anyway, that's how you doing? They have worked with multiple people. They have been in multiple teams. Chinye, how you doing? They have been in multiple teams, worked with multiple groups. Is what they see. The advantage is that they should have a good network. If in these teams they had given a good account of themselves, they should have quite a few people that you should approach for references. So for me, I have worked in a few schools, I've worked with many managers, and so now looking for a reference, I am spoiled for choice. I decide who I want for a reference because there are many options. When you first start working and you haven't built such a network, referencing can be difficult. The school I work in at the moment, I can ask the official leads, I can ask the principal, but there's the head of secondary also. There is the head of academics. These are all potential people who could give references for me. So if I need a reference, it is a case of thinking whose reference would be more strategic at that time and to contact that person. Yeah. When you work with different groups of people, you get to know many people. You get to align with many people. In fact, your network grows. Your network grows. And if you think about it from the strategic point of view, that's an advantage. That is an advantage. How is that not an advantage? You know many people know you. You take your phone and you are able to dial. I was talking to a colleague of mine about another colleague of ours, elderly guy. But this elderly guy is now in a position to work with he's worked with the military here. He has worked with institutional heads. He has personal contact details for people in very high places. And yeah, such a person is in an incredibly lucky position because it takes a phone call to one person. And usually the one person he makes a phone call to has the command to ask for things to happen, or has the goodwill arrangement with other people to ask. So appointments for this person, he was telling us at some point that he's not afraid for his job anywhere. That is what brought this conversation on. He's not afraid for his job. He does his job with fidelity. He does it the way he thinks it should be done, because he's not afraid for his job at all. And so the conversation comes up with, what did he mean by he's not afraid for his job? He can get another job anytime he wants. Libra says, hello, you're right. It's so good to see you. If for any reason something happens to his job, if anything were to happen to his job, nice and easy, all he has to do is make a phone call to somewhere. Hello, Grace. That phone call to someone will be someone significant enough to either override that decision or to help him move into another position. And yeah, no, he will not be unemployed for any significant period of time. And he knows it. And he knows it. When you listen to his CV, the projects he's worked on, insane. Where does that come from? That comes from his network. It does. His network is his net worth. And at the moment, that network is phenomenal in value. Phenomenal in value. Yes, you did. And I was so good to see. It's so good to see you. So happy that you made it. A person like that, with a network like that, does not even need cash in his pocket, you know. Doors will be open for him in an empty pocket. That will not be open for you with your $1 million. And those networks, well, sadly, they don't just get conjured up, they don't come. You will have to get to places to work with people. And when you work with people, you must want to put yourself out there to engage with people. Alison. So when you talk to him, he would say to you that he was working in a place and then somebody he got talking to suggested something or directed him somewhere. You are very kind, sis. Mwah. Rabil, how you doing? Somebody suggested that the military was doing something and that he might suit the military's approach, so he found himself doing military things through this person. And then whilst he was in the military, he met a brigadier, and the brigadier said and then whilst they were doing something with the brigadier, something else happened. And if you really listen to the story, it is the networking you do, often with no expectations from these networks, that your greatest opportunities come. The networking you do with no regard for any outcomes. And the funny thing about these networks also is that they don't mature immediately. So the brigadier he is discussing, he met him 30 years ago. And they had to remain friends and remain in touch for 20 years before 10 years ago, the brigadier said something. Where do you meet the brigadier? You meet the brigadier because you went to a job, and often the most significant people you meet are met in places that are not of your choice. Providence wants to send you in a place and it will force you in a place, and because it was not actually by your design, most of the time you are upset. And if you are not upset, at least you have certain connotations to this that are not exactly positive. So hidden, you learn the most in the places where you meet some of the worst managers. Your manager is awful, they don't do their job, all of you have no direction, and so you will find, I have worked in teams that have the best cohesion, and the teams that have the best cohesion I've worked in is because we had a shite manager. a manager who did not know their job and abandoned us. And so the elements within the team have had to learn to rally to support each other, to keep each other going. In teams where the manager is good, there is no adversity, and so everybody just sits in their little corner and does what. These networks are created not in ideal situations in the typical. Yeah. And that's why many people, when you are building these networks, only focus on the negatives. This is the key thing in life, really. As I'm telling you, it's the same thing that I preach in many of my messages. As you are experiencing the not so pleasant things in life, you've got to know that that's where the greatest opportunities exist. So instead of you focusing on the negativity and crying, the strategic people actually begin to realize that in every cloud there is a silver lining. And so anytime you see a cloud, you are busy looking for the lining. And those who go through clouds seeking linings will find more linings than those who don't. Anytime you see a cloud, mentally you must conjure a silver lining, because you find silver lining in dark clouds. So instead of running away from dark clouds, the alternative, the reverse thought around this is to see dark clouds and to think silver linings straight up, and to be excited in the hope of finding your silver lining, and to start considering the things that your silver lining will be useful and how that would enhance. Nana say, I'm powerful. It's been a long time. So good to see you, sis. Yeah. You know, a person has been gifted a gift of wide networks. The person doesn't see the gift of wide networks. What they see is that they have worked in different teams, and so they look at the negative connotations to it, and that's what they are trying to trivialize. And so a person like that, instead of maintaining contact with all these people that they have worked with, they will not maintain contact. Years down the line, something will come up and they don't have contact with the person. This Bangladeshi girl and I were talking, and she says one of their leaders, not the top person, but very close to that person in Bangladesh, was someone that was her mother's neighbor. They grew up together in the neighborhood. The thing though is that the mother never really courted this relationship much. They were neighbors, but then when life happened and they moved on to places, she would go home and her dad particularly would say, go to this family and go greet them. I'm sure her dad knew that this family was quite aspirational and they were moving to places. Go and see them. So the dad will force her to go and see the dad, but obviously the son was no longer there too, and his parents will encourage her to contact him. They will give her his number. They will make appointments and ask her to go and see this guy at his office. And every time she went home, her parents made her go and see his parents. His parents tried to get her to go and see him, and never happened. The reason why this is now in conversation, she needs something to happen, and it needs wasta. It needs somebody influential, and the most influential person they know in some way is this guy. And so her dad is trying to get her mom to go and see this guy so that their daughter can get what they are looking for. And the mother is trying to explain she can't go to see this guy because she hasn't spoken to this guy since they were like 14. She had refused to act on all the consistent invitations his parents had sent her, Nanita, to go and see him. They had built no relationship whatsoever. So now going out of the blue to go see this guy And not just going out in the blue, going out in the blue to ask for a favor is going to be tricky. So her mom doesn't want it. And in her frustration is why she's telling me this. Can you believe my mom? And I'm like, I can believe. Your mom has ghosted this person for a long time. So going now to go talk to this person is difficult. But you see, the gift of knowing this person was given to her from when she was born. They were neighbors. All she needed to have done when his parents encouraged her to go and see this guy was to even take his number and send him a message. I had a classmate, may his soul rest in peace, and he went into government and was doing very well. I had his number from way back. We would chat every now and again. So one time when I wanted to go and find something else, I wanted to understand something else, it was a simple message. Charlie, where you did? Where are you? I want to understand such a thing. And he says, this is not for the phone. Come to the office. That's it. Come to the office. No appointments made with the secretary. I remember walking into his office and the secretary was being weird. I do have an open appointment to come and see the person. Well, your name is not in the list. Obviously, my name is not in the list because I just told you that it is an open appointment. I didn't know when exactly I was getting here, so the person tells me to let you know it's an open appointment. This girl is being funny. As she was busy being funny, I picked my phone and dialed straight up. In fact, this is something that has happened quite a few times with the relationships that I have actually spent some effort courting. So I made a phone call. Hey, I'm here. Your secretary doesn't seem to be interested in letting me come see you. 3 seconds later, the door is bust open. The person is here, hugging and picking me up and twirling me because we were classmates from kindergarten. When we were in kindergarten, nobody told us that we would be, any of us would become anybody. I went to KG and primary school with this person. We all disconnected and went various ways and then met again in university. But you see, that's a long-standing relationship that had been nurtured. And so you can call those things in. But the point I'm trying to make is, for me, that gift was given in the kindergarten. The first day I worked in kindergarten, and this person was given as my classmate in kindergarten. The universe was giving me an opportunity to create a relationship that I could cash in later, to get direct access to a person of significance who could give me information that I needed without any ceremony, without any vetting, because they did know me. The point I'm trying to make is, wherever you find yourself, realize that the universe is giving you an opportunity to get to know people. So get to know people. My job at the moment is a very beautiful place because the people who work there are all people who seem to understand this very important thing of networking. I went with my daughter yesterday and I was hugging and kissing people I have known for just under 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I went to the gym and I met one of them. We were talking and said we will have lunch today. My daughter was watching me. I am usually very outgoing, but we don't get into very personal spaces like that quickly. So she was like, whoa, okay, that one is weird, but maybe that's a person she's had a very strong connection to. We walk down the corridor, another person is hugging me and kissing me also. And she's like, whoa, Miss Vina, how you doing? So I said to my daughter, well, this place is full of people who want to get to know other people who want to connect. All of us in this space recognize the value each other brings. And so we are all aware that we could be useful to each other. We could be helpful to each other. and everybody seems to be open to engaging and interacting in very authentic ways. And it's incredible how you can forge relationships. We are meeting on Facebook. Okay, at the moment you are on my page. There's quite a few of you on my page. Say hello to the people you meet on this page, because you don't know who these people are, and you don't know where you would meet them. I went to a bank in Ghana a couple of years ago, and I needed a bank card. That trip would have been a futile trip, except that I am on this Facebook page and I have engagements and interactions with a lot of interesting people on this page, and we just have a vibe. So I walked in, I queued. My major wow, glasses. I walked in, I'm queuing, and I know what I'm about to request is going to be tough, because I needed them to print a bank card for me instantaneously, and it's not something they do routinely. And even if they do, it's specific branches that have, most typically, a bank card should be made and then should be sent to your branch, and you go and collect it and so on. So here I am thinking, actually no, I lie, I did not even know that was possible. I did not know. So I get to the person who needs to do this for me. I am just greeting them and warming up. Another human being flies from across and comes to pick me up and hug me and kiss me. At this time, I'm a bit confused because I don't recognize this person. The girl in front of me is confused because the person who came flying in is her boss. And so she says, I didn't know this is, I was watching you on your way, but I didn't know this is where you were coming. She tells me her username. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. So obviously, she tells the girl, do whatever she wants, anything she needs. And if it's something you can't do, let me know. When the boss said for her to fix me, this girl was doing all sorts of things for me, including within a short period of time, they had identified another branch which could print the debit card for me on demand. I went to this other branch with a phone call preceding me and people knowing that I was coming. When I arrived, I just needed to give identity and we were good to go. The person I was giving the identity to was laughing. It was a formality because they also did know me. And within a short period of time, I had enjoyed courtesies that I would not have enjoyed, and my life was completely different. Why does that happen? It happened because I was on these social media streets and I was willing to engage and network with people that I had no idea I would meet. I had no idea would be of any benefit to me. But the willingness initially to engage for no apparent reason is what happens. Mami Jesua, I have missed you rough. Are you going to GH this year? This year, I would have gone already, but this year I took a summer school job. So I may come just for a week towards the end of the summer break. So let's talk. Let's see when you are going. I cannot wait to see you. See, when I meet Mami Jesua, we probably would embarrass ourselves wherever we find ourselves because, yeah, this woman and I have had banter for a long time. Can you imagine that I would go to a place where Mami Jesua can do something for me, or I can do something for Mami Jesua? Because of this engagement on a social media platform, I will do whatever I can for that woman, and I'm very sure that feeling is very mutual. Wherever you happen to find yourselves, take opportunities to network and get to know people. Engage. Don't disengage. Don't ignore people. Don't ignore people. When your mother says go and say hello to the neighbors, go and say hello to the neighbors. When the neighbors ask you to go and check their son out, check their son out. I know you don't want to date him, but you see, it's not about dating the person or getting in their knickers only. And that's what happened with my friend. They didn't even get along that much, and she was not interested in dating him, so I was not interested in dating him. And at the time she was thinking, well, why would I waste my time to go and find this guy? And no point. His parents were determined every single time over the years, every single time. You haven't got to look for him. He's waiting for you. Go and look for him. Go and look for him. She never did. And then now she needs this guy to be able to sign on something that her daughter needs. But the relationship which would have made it comfortable for her to approach this guy and ask for this favor has not been built. And because the relationship has not been built, it is a challenge now. Huge challenge now to get what she wants for her daughter. It would have been a lot simpler. Good morning, Tony. It would have been so much simpler if she had listened to her parents and had done what her parents recommended she did. And all she needed to do would be to go and look for this person and greet them. Or she could have even just taken a telephone number. And chat. Bam. Tony, you have summed it up beautifully, eloquently. No man is an island. And you can easily create an island of yourself. Yo. Hey, didn't I block you? Huh? I blocked you. Why are you? All of you, wait, let me block this man before we continue this conversation. This guy who's busy yoing needs to be blocked. So hang on a minute, let me block him. Pat. Yeah. My husband just popped on, and that reminds me of something yesterday also. Good morning.
Good morning.
As I say, hey, who watch Papa? I hope the class is near for you.
It's so hectic.
I'll see you later. Anyway, I just walked in. I have 10 minutes to start a class. So if you guys don't mind, maybe I should have gone to get a coffee, but I might skip on all that. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I got a coffee. Morning. Yeah. Good morning. You all right? Let's do it this way. Let me go and finish, and then we'll continue this conversation. Yeah? We will continue this in a minute.